Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. Today we have Secretary Hillary Clinton running against Bernie Sanders in a 2020 presidential election prediction. So essentially this is going to be a rematch. Actually it's not going to be a presidential election prediction. It'll be during the presidential race, but it'll be a 2020 Democratic primary map between Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders to see how they would do in a rematch. We all know that Hillary Clinton beat Bernie Sanders in the 2016 primary, so we're just going to go through it and see which states would flip, which states would flip for either Clinton or Sanders, or which states would stay the same. So we're just going to go through that map now. This is going to be all by first instant vote, not roll call votes, just going through where I think the popular vote would go. So all the Bernie Sanders states, I think, ignore this part by the way, all the Obama and Romney things. I'm using the Huffington Post election dashboard from 2012. I made a couple edits to make to put Senator Sanders and Secretary Hillary Clinton on there, but just ignore that for now. All the states that went from Bernie Sanders, I think, would stay. I think they would all stay for him. I don't really see them flipping to Hillary Clinton, unless it's a state like Michigan, which I'm not going to touch just yet. But Wisconsin, I don't think would flip again. West Virginia, of course, his home state. New Hampshire, that one would go to Bernie again, along with Maine and then Rhode Island. So that's pretty much all the safe states for Bernie Sanders, except for Alaska and Hawaii. Progressives down there, but I'm not going to check. There's no Democrats abroad one, but just consider that given it to him. And then all the safe states that I think would be safe for Hillary Clinton this time around are some southern states. So I think that Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Arkansas, all these states, South Carolina, I don't see flipping. Virginia along with that, just because of her win in 2016. Looking through the map, DC would be safe for her. This is not by when they're going to vote, just what states I think would be safe. Along with that, I think Texas would be safe for her again. New Mexico, I'm not going to go to just yet. Arizona, I think, would be safe for her, but I think Bernie Sanders could flip Nevada. I think Bernie Sanders will do better in Nevada and Iowa. I think that there will be more energy on his side this time around because Hillary Clinton did lose in 2016. But it'd still be a narrow edge. Massachusetts, I'm not going to touch this yet. That one was close. Connecticut, I'm not going to touch any of these states. New York, I don't see flipping to Bernie Sanders. Okay, it was closer than it should have been, but I don't think Bernie Sanders will be able to pick up that state. Illinois, I think, could go to Bernie Sanders. It wasn't that big of a margin, especially since the Obama factor was there, and Hillary Clinton could have easily won over those voters. It was a little bit closer than expected. And Missouri, I don't think would flip. I think that one will stay safe for Hillary Clinton, along with Kentucky, Tennessee, and North Carolina. I don't see a Sanders movement really coming out the same way they did, along with Georgia and Florida. So a lot of these southern states that you might otherwise see would flip. I think that Hillary Clinton would hold on to them. Along with Maryland, I know my state pretty well. I would give Maryland to Hillary Clinton, even in a rematch. California, I think, would go to Bernie Sanders, though. I think that one would be a flip, a huge flip, and hurt the Clinton campaign. The reasoning behind that is I don't think that California, I think that since it's going to be up in the beginning of the primary season now, after that new law was pushed into effect from the state legislator in California, it's going to be early on, so I don't think that they'll have time to adjust to all of the choices, because I think more than these two will run, but I think they'll come up as the front runners again, and they won't really have time to adjust to see who's more electable, so I think they'll, out of impulse, vote for Bernie Sanders, but if it was held later on, I think Hillary Clinton would have held it. It all comes down to the state itself, and just looking at the map, we have a couple states that are outlying. The only states that are outlying right now are Clinton states, except for Michigan. So these are Clinton states from 2016, not in the general election, in the primary season. Essentially, I think that Bernie Sanders will do a little bit better, but I'm not really seeing him overwhelmingly having a landslide victory that some people might see. Personally, I don't think that'll be super close, but I mean, personally, I see it would be closer than 2016, but I don't think it'll be super close. A lot of things can change in 2020, especially since our recurring candidate came back, and I actually do think that the Democratic Party could nominate her again. But we're just going to go through. So New Mexico, we have their primary was held, I'm pretty sure it was held in June. Hillary Clinton won 51% of the vote. So personally, I think that one could flip to Bernie Sanders. The reasoning behind that is it's pretty close, and I think that Clinton may lose a little bit of her voters. I don't think it'll be a lot, but I think she'll lose a little bit of her base to Bernie Sanders just based off of that. And then we're going to go to Ohio up there. So in Ohio, we have 56% of the vote for Hillary Clinton. I personally don't think it'll flip, honestly. I've seen, looking at the numbers from 2016 and looking at where they might vote again, they didn't vote for Clinton in the general election. But then again, the Democrats there really seem to like her because of the Obama factor. But I don't think Ohio will flip. Along with that, Delaware, I think, could go to Hillary Clinton again. And then we're going to go up to Connecticut. That one was closer than expected. And I think that Bernie Sanders could flip the state. But in New Jersey, I'm going to give that one to Hillary Clinton. I think that Clinton could easily hold on to New Jersey. As for Pennsylvania, that one went for Hillary Clinton with 55.6% of the vote. I don't want to go up there just yet, but if we're looking at states like Massachusetts, that one I think could flip for Bernie Sanders. And that puts them at carrying a couple more swing states along with South Dakota. I think that one would go to Bernie Sanders. Now it comes down to these two states for me to make a decision as to who I think would win. In Michigan, that's going to be a little bit of a toss-up. I think that since Bernie Sanders barely visited, I don't think he even visited Flint after winning the primary there. Personally, I don't think that Michigan appeal will really help him again. He won in an upset. I think the Clinton campaign will do a lot better there. But then again, they also have that we lost in 2016 factor. So I'm going to give that one to Bernie Sanders. But Pennsylvania, I think it's strong for Clinton. I don't think it'll flip. Now, the reasoning behind this map is I think that Clinton could come back as a strong comeback candidate. The reasoning behind that is I think that after the releasing of her new book, with the current approval ratings of President Trump, I honestly think that they could get Hillary Clinton to win the Democratic nomination. I mean, the Democrats will turn out, it'll be a lot closer than it was in 2016, but I think Democrats could turn out the same way they did for Hillary Clinton in 2016 and add a few with that dropping approval rating. But personally, I do think that Bernie Sanders wouldn't win a Democratic primary against Hillary Clinton in a rematch. And overall, this would be the final state win map. This is not an electoral map. This is not an electoral prediction. But that was just there because I'm using the Huffington Post map. So again, thank you guys for watching this video. If you disagree or agree with my prediction, comment below. I'll respond to you. Again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.